Hello and welcome. So this is planned to be just a short episode, short and quick, because since Jagex announced the evolution of combat, it kind of killed my plans to do Tormented Demons since claws are half of what they were worth in the last episode. So in this short, I went PK with two friends of mine, my friend Josh and James from RuneShark. So with the evolution of combat coming around, I thought why not go PK one last time while it's still the way it is. So for those of you who don't know, before I actually did any kind of serious PVM, I actually PK'd for about the first 8 years I played RuneScape. I used to be in a clan called Rising PKers. I had a lot of fun PKing, but the reason I kind of left the PKing community was because of clans, the clan drama that came with it. Then there's the backstabbing, the DDoSing each other that goes around over just over the game itself. I wish DDoSing wasn't a part of RuneScape, but it's not only in RuneScape. Many other games have this kind of problem, which makes it kind of hard to make new friends if you're unsure if they'll do something malicious with your IP. Now, I'm completely against this style of gameplay, so knowing people I knew that were doing this made me pretty much quit PKing because I didn't want to be part of that kind of community. So when Dungeoneering came out, I went to do Dungeoneering. I got up to about level 86 before I got my first Chaotic. And then about that time, I lost the PK. I went back to Dungeoneering. And then when I finally got my Chaotic back, I noticed that I much preferred the Dungeoneering community over the PKing community because in Dungeoneering, with the people I knew, we were actually helping each other. We were nice. And the PKing community that I knew was nothing like that. So these are just a few clips I got while PKing. The reason I don't really do PKing for money is because it's maybe 500k to a mil per hour for the average person. Not counting hybriding. Hybriding is a bit more risky, but if you know what to do, you can actually make money. But from what I've seen, hybriding is pretty much it's not as alive as it was before. I don't want to say dead, but I went to East Dragons north of Edgeville. I usually don't find people, and I just get nagged by raggers, and that kind of killed PK for me as well, raggers. Also nowadays, it's really hard to find legitimate players to fight, especially since I see more bots at Green Dragons and Revenants than actual legitimate players. But bots are pretty much a big problem in any game with an in-game currency. So in this clip, James attacks the guy with the polypore staff. I don't have the Skype audio of this, but I was trying to tell him to wait until Josh gets here with the bolas to freeze him, but I stumbled over my words too much to be able to say it. So now he's south of the border of where we can attack him. We kind of pretend to leave for a while, and he comes back north to loot. So we run back south to try and kill him. I'm actually surprised that he came back north when we're pretty much still in range of the loot. Although the loot did disappear around the time we ran back. Sadly, he does get away. He's south, but he's TB'd this time. So I get the I'm too high level to attack him message. So he's south. I look at my level, I look at Josh's and James' level to see that I'm level 125, so I'm one level lower. I have my Dragon Dagger out, which is still, in my opinion, the most overpowered weapon out there and will always be that way in my eyes. James then drops his Granite Maul to try to bait him a little bit north, so we're waiting. He definitely sees it. I'm thinking to myself that he's definitely not going to fall for something like this, especially when we're this close. But he runs a bit north and then runs a bit south, like he's kind of playing with fire, just kind of taunting us. When if he makes one mistake, we can actually kill him for his stuff. And this whole time, I'm kind of waiting, hoping that he comes a little bit more north at level 25 Wildy so that I can attack him. Then I see him move a little bit north, so I try to attack him and see that I'm actually moving. And I one-hit him with Dragon Dagger. Like, I have no idea why he did not eat. If you look at the loot, he still has food, so I'm not entirely sure why he didn't eat. Although I feel kind of bad that I got his Polypore staff because I don't know. I just kind of feel bad when I get their +1 item when they aren't smited. When it's just that they forgot it, even though maybe it's their fault, but I just feel kind of bad. And this last clip is the last world that we went to before ending the trip. We actually found people that we could fight. Now, having PK'd in multi a lot, like before I started the whole PVM stuff, if you see one itemers around, you keep protect melee on because melee in the current combat system is obscenely overpowered. It deals much more damage to a single target than mage and range can conventionally. So after attacking one player, I see that I'm getting focused. The person with mage usually gets focused because usually they have fewer food, better loot, so pretty much all the incentives to focus them. And I slowed it down here. If you look at James, James is the green dot with the curse prayer using protect from magic. A guy skulls on him while saying "I love you, Runechar." It's although I wouldn't say that's kind of Hippocratic, but in the wilderness, like for me, if I see an idol of mine, I would actually attack them. But outside the wilderness, I'd respect them. But this is just what I would do. Other people can hold different positions on different situations. Now, I didn't want to end up dying, so I did kind of save up. I put on my rune already, focusing on what I had to do. I figured none of them brought mage, since most of them are usually melee or range. So having rune, I kept my defense up. So I didn't actually know that James was praying magic. I thought he knew to pray melee, so he kind of gets dropped by the one itemers. Which I kind of found hilarious because, like, I used to actually do one iteming PK. This was back with Portal PK. Like, when Portal PK was new, back before they removed free trade. And actually, that was when I was pretty poor. I don't even know how much of a bank I actually had. But when I actually got to kill one iteming, it was like the funniest thing ever. Although, it's kind of funny as well because we could lose like maybe 500k and stuff, and we could really care less. It was just all for fun. Although if he lost like his chaotic crossbow, that wouldn't have been fun. But he did keep it. So this pretty much sums up the short PKing trip I had. I maybe made about somewhere under a mil. Like I said earlier in the video, I have never ever done a PK video before, so I look forward to your feedback. As always, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.